Hello. You may know me by my channel name of the Cool Dino Dude, and if you've seen my content, you'd know that um I play video games. I guess I don't really know why I posted those things in the first place. There was even a smoothie video or something. But honestly, my favorite thing is books, and today I'm gonna be reviewing uh the, the latest one that I've read called Misery by Stephen King. This is library edition, and yeah, it's not in such a bad state. I, I read it through it. Also, side note, when I was searching for an audiobook on YouTube, I found one. There was one, and then it was a completely different version from the one I was reading. Like even the introduction is different. I post a comment linking to the video if I can find it again. But just wanted to mention that there were two editions of this book, like literally different written ones. So yeah, but now I want to review this book real quick. I don't really know how to properly review a book. This is my first time, but I'm just gonna start off by saying I really love it. Stephen King is of course a genius. I've already read some of his books. Um, Revival, Mr. Mercedes, It. I've read those three, and this fourth one, it's up there with some of his bests. Like the I'll start off by saying no spoilers. I'm not gonna spoil the story, of course. I want you if it like I would recommend it to anybody who's A fan of Stephen King, of course, and B who's just interested in thriller, bit of horror, but yeah, just that sort of genre. There's no fantastical elements or sci-fi like his other books, but it's still just as good as like say It or The Shining or whatever. I haven't read The Shining, but I probably will later. But yeah, this book is fantastic, and I'll get into that. So, first off, what is this story about? Well, this story is about an author named Paul, who is most well known for writing a series of books, romance ish, called Misery. And these books perform very well, but he kind of wants to write other books as well. Like, he's like, I'm tired of writing about the same thing, but those ones receive low ratings because his fans really just want misery. And so one day he's just had enough. He just ends the series and he's like, okay, I got a new manuscript for a new book. Let's just go publish that one. But then a fatal accident happens, but he gets rescued by this strange woman. And this strange woman is kind of cuckoo. She keeps him locked in his house, in her house, sorry, and forces him to write a new misery book because she is a fan of this author. She forces him to write a new book of misery, or else she's gonna do some very bad things to him. And that's as far as I can go without going into spoilers. So why does this book work so well? Well, first of all, it comes down to the writing. Of course, Stephen King is a genius in writing, and he can perfectly build up tension in any scene. Like, um, once again, no spoilers, but there are a bunch of extremely graphic scenes where it's just for a regular author you'd be like, ouch, that's bad. But with Stephen King, you're like, ugh. Like at one point, I just felt the pain that Paul was experiencing. Also, like Paul is just like very intriguing because he like sometimes he just goes on into some random train thought. It's just like goes on to these random thoughts that feel kind of fitting because he's an author, so it's his job to just write. I don't know if this makes any sense, but also the antagonist, whose name is Anya Wilkes, the person keeping Paul captive in her house, is terrifying. She is totally psychotic. She does some terrible things. No spoilers, once again, for like the fifth time I think I've said this. But she's just super devilish. And by the end of the novel, like, you just feel like, wow, what is wrong with her? But yeah, that was one hell of an antagonist to just put in there. The pacing is nice. Well, the writing is nice. I already mentioned that. Characters are very well written. There are these segments actually where because Paul is writing a book for Anya, there's just these segments where it's just a story that he's writing, and there's this nice little detail about a missing letter that's kind of fun, but also I have that's my only complaint actually. It's just that sometimes these story sections, or it's just the book that he's typing, gets kind of boring because I feel like it deviates from the genre that it's already talking about. But other than that, it's just like, oh sure, okay, that's a cool thing to add in. But honestly, it's just, not positive nor negative, not really. But other than that, I think the story is spectacular. There are some great moments, like very tense scenes. The character dialogue is on point, and the ending just feels like seems fitting. Yeah, that's just right into the novel from start to finish. It pretty much does everything right. So, yeah, I'm sorry by the way if this review is completely botched. This is my first time like making a proper YouTube video, I guess you could say, and yeah, my voice is completely my vocabulary is very limited. I do not know why, but if I was to rate this book on 10, I would give it a 9.5 out of 10, I think. Might go higher later if I decide to reread this book. But yeah, I really like it. So thank you for watching. If you enjoy this type of content, please leave a comment saying either, hey, you should make more book reviews, because I read tons of books. Like I'm actually started reading 11/22/63, except it's French. Don't ask me why. But yeah, and if I finish reading it and you guys want a review of it, I can make that as well. I just started like 5 minutes ago starting to read it, and then I said, hey, why not make a review of Misery? But yeah, if you enjoy this type of video format content, whatever, leave a comment saying sure, do it, and if you don't, tell me return to making those gaming videos or whatever that I'm probably not gonna make. Okay, thank you, bye.